We like failing.
You just
Okay, I'm just making sure.
all right. We are at Rocklahoma 2014, sitting down with Dellacoma.
Hello.
So tell us what is going on, guys. Of course, any BleachBANGS listener has followed everything Dell and Sunset Riot and everything that you're doing. So just tell us how everything's going.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah,
real
let's
quick.
do that.
What's your name?
I'm Dell.
I'm Rick.
I'm Art. I'm Matt.
We play music.
Oh yeah.
We play
I like hang out
And we
together
and we do
stuff.
and we do shit.
Yeah.
We do things.
We live out of a
Bush
out of a
Light.
we actually live out of a van.
We drink too much Bush Light. Is what
Yeah.
we do.
Art, I live out of a van, drink Bush Light, and only eat Pop-Tarts.
We're on the road looking for shows to play and hopefully a shower or two.
Yeah.
Along the way. That'd be exciting.
Yeah.
Showers are highly overrated.
Dell just Febrezed all our asses.
Yeah, I
before we
did.
came
It's
here.
the best thing I've ever done in my entire life.
True story.
Baby wipes and Febreze.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Isn't that called a whore bath? Isn't that the word term?
It is now.
No, I just heard that was the
Whore
term
baths
for
on the
it.
all around. I've never heard that before in my
Oh,
life.
really? That's what Inside Mortem calls it, is a whore bath.
Go take a whore bath.
Treat yourself.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
So, Dale, tell us how everything came into conception, and where'd you find these freaks, man?
I really don't know where I did find. I think they were taking a whole bath
In a whore bath.
in a gutter. No, when Sunset Riot folded in October last year, I knew I didn't want to give up, and so I got together a few musicians, friends of mine in Australia, recorded some songs and started booking a tour, but I didn't have a lineup yet. I'd known Rick from doing a couple of side projects with him, one of those side projects being Outback Rednecks with Jody,
Little boys. the
Jody and
infamous-
John.
Those guys.
Yeah, that was a wild time.
Yeah, I feel like the whole festival misses them.
Yeah.
We really do. Jody especially, like, you said wild time, and it's like, well, Jody's involved.
I just wish they would just show up. Just one
Yeah,
day,
just-
one day dressed in pink, Jody Rowe.
No one rocks a pair of like cheetah spandex like that guy.
But I got about half the tour booked and got Rocklahoma booked, and then moved over. I came over here in end of January looking for a band, basically, and had a couple different options. But these guys came to the rescue, and we started. Our first show was at South by Southwest, end of March, and then here we are. Our 13th show was a couple days ago, and on the Jaeger stage at 3 o'clock in the morning.
We heard.
Boy, what a time it was. He didn't say that with a positive tone.
Thanks, Apple Pie Shop.
Yeah, and Jaeger. I made the
Guys got
mistake.
those? I heard they were over there, but I haven't tried
There was
them
a
yet.
fucking apple juice.
I know
Apple
the people
pie
who
shots
bought
and
them.
moonshine, and then I made the mistake of saying from stage, I hear this is called Camp Jaeger, where's the Jaeger?
And then so somebody brought up
A giant
There was a
bottle.
John Hannah sized bottle. of Jaeger.
John Hannah size bottle of
That's a
Jaeger.
good measurement.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. I'm still on what he said. He goes, I had a couple of options, and then I just like that you guys are options.
Yeah. He looked at
I'll
us.
pick A and C.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just a drummer.
Yeah.
See how they pull off Rocklahoma.
He looked at us. He shook his
got
hand. He
hosed
said, "They're the
and
guys."
Yeah, right. We've definitely caught you guys' show a couple of times, and you definitely know how to pick. Yeah, I mean, straight up professional. Most on stage.
Only when it's important.
Thank
should have seen me driving around a back of a truck.
Straight up, just wonderful musicians, and I thought it was going to be kind of hard to. Yeah, we don't have JP. That does hurt a little bit, but you guys are really big shoes to fill, and you're filling them. Oh, thank you guys very much.
I was a fan of Sunset for so long, and then to step into their shoes is such a huge thing, and I'm just glad that we don't get Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like this. You know, like and we know, and especially coming to the family environment of this festival. It's kind of. We're glad we're not letting people down, I guess.
Well, I like you're not. I like that it is different. It's Dellacoma. It's not Sunset Riot. It's Dellacoma. I like the original songs. Her favorite is Change. She's like,
oh man, I love that song.
She woke up yesterday morning. She goes, that damn song is still stuck in my head. It worked.
Nailed it.
I was singing Rain, but she was like, Change. She's like, when is it? There it is. Okay.
It's good stuff, man.
And it is interesting. Like I feel like you made the point about that it's different, because there was that option on the table when Sunset Riot folded. There was because the verbal agreement we'd had with ourselves in Sunset Riot was that there had to be at least 3 of us, for it to continue.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of guys that wanted out, and we sort of talked about it, and it just didn't feel right, to try and replace.
Yeah.
And so that's why we ended up deciding to fold. And I think it is important, for all the Sunset Riot fans out there, that we're not trying to be Sunset Riot Part 2, but at the same time, my option was either not do music or do music. So, and that's where these guys have been absolutely amazing, because we've only been together since end of March, and they've been completely professional, and they've got the songs down and been where we needed to be, and rocked up and showed up, and it's been incredible so far.
I'm telling you, once we saw you on stage, we were just like, all doubts were gone. So it's awesome. We just didn't really know what to. We knew what was going to come from Dale. We knew he was going to jump off the speaker. We already knew this was coming.
That scared me.
But very, very pleasantly surprised with you guys. The people you surround yourself with, Dale, is just amazing. And I never really doubted in any way, shape, or form that it wasn't going to be exactly like this, and you pulled it off. So
thank you.
It's just everything you do is. I want to say is golden, but I know you work your ass off for everything that you do. You're like one of the hardest working rock stars that I've ever come in contact with. Nobody can keep up with you. Nobody knows what flights you're on. Nobody knows what
y'all can't.
And it's just
keep up since we live in.
I don't even know half the time.
All we know is to stay out of the way.
It's just a constant thing, and rock and roll gang star, a band, a wife, a child. Oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it, and then he still smiles. He's just
not before noon he does. You don't see that Dell on stage.
Takes me till 3.
I owe my life to coffee.
Yeah, right.
We all do.
Rick, do you live in Dallas too?
I've lived in Dallas for 12 months now. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm not. They don't classify me as Texan, but
his accent is kind of getting more Texan as the months go by.
Yeah, it's not as extreme.
I just home's wherever the ground is at the moment.
So you guys practice in Dallas? Do you meet in between somewhere, or?
Well, we have done one rehearsal in Austin. There's been a couple times that have been really brutal, where it's like 3.5 hours in the van up to practice, and then after practice jump back in the van and drive 3.5 hours back to catch a flight.
Is that really how far it is?
Yeah. And here's the stupid thing. I initially thought, driving between the two, it's going to be fine leaving Dallas at 2 o'clock in the morning and driving 3.5 hours because there's not going to be traffic. That's when I decided to do roadworks. So it's still 3.5 hours. It's not any quicker because the roads are jam-packed.
Yeah, well, I went through the same thing for 6 months because I moved over to Austin and then met these guys and did the commute for that. And just, oh God, come up with teleportation soon.
Now we're sort of like we're doing rehearsals rehearsal like in between shows. We're just getting like we rehearsed in Macomb, Mississippi, before at a music store before our Lily and Ash show.
Pretty much our rehearsal is
Hey,
in
can we
between the start and
try
the end
this
of the
guitar?
You guys
Oh, we
like
did it.
Lily and Axe? I
Yeah,
love them.
they're
Steve
awesome.
Blaze is one of my favorite guitar players.
Yeah.
We're working on a tour at the moment with them for later in the year.
Seriously. Try to get that to come through Oklahoma City. Seriously. I love Lily and Axe. I've only seen them twice.
I told you she heard that she's just gonna melt. Yeah, Steve Blaze is phenomenal.
They were incredibly underrated, you know. They're one of those
They
bands
really
like
are.
I hadn't really heard of them before 2 years ago when they played here in Oklahoma. And I kind of thought they were just, you know, one of those glam bands, you know, from the 80s that are still kicking around. 'Cause there's a lot of those, you know. But then when I saw them, I was like, wow, they're like really good. Really good. And their new stuff is good too. So
I agree. I love them.
And on top of that, they're just the most nice
Nice, yeah.
ever. Phenomenal. Yeah. They put
Steve
you up.
Blaze is that way.
Yeah.
You see him walking out, and I remember Rebecca just going, Steve. I was like, you've talked to him before. Just go say hi to him.
Okay.
No, just go say hi to him, and it's.
you kind of forget, like once you do a bit of research, you kind of forget that he was like when they came out, he was up there with like Eddie Van Halen and the Slash and you know, all that sort of stuff. That's how highly he was rated.
Yeah.
He's got like 6 signature models or something like that. It's like
Yeah, you let me play one of them.
And, I mean,
Really?
Yeah, it was badass.
That is sweet.
their whole like family crew and everything were just great. They just use our back line. Just
we stayed at Brian, the singer's house.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's good. They've had a few singers over the years,
Yeah.
but I really like the new
Yeah,
one.
he's
really
definitely
good.
a keeper.
Yeah, they're awesome. They played Waters Rising for me 2 years ago. I talked to Steve and I told him that was my favorite song, and he goes, "Oh, it's not on the set list." I was like, well, like the third to the last song, he kind of like was looking and he was like, and started playing it. And I was just like freaking out. I freaked out. It was awesome. I love them.
That'll be awesome to catch. Yeah, she's right. Please come to Oklahoma if you get.
We're gonna find a different promoter in Oklahoma City.
Totally agree.
I don't know.
really happy with it.
I don't. Tony likes Lily and Axe, so you might be okay.
What's that?
Tony likes Lily and Axe,
Oh.
so you might put a little more effort into the show this time. No
Yeah.
promises.
Christy just told me something the other day. She goes, you know, as long as we've known Dale, I don't think we've ever had pictures actually taken with Dale. Or Ragdoll. It's like as much as we know and see him all the time, hey, what's up? We have never actually had pictures.
So we're gonna have to fix that too.
Yes. So would you guys do some pictures with us, man?
should have done it with the band.